All right.
It's your own.
Let's get this show on the road. How about that?
Terry Pevicic.
Hi. I'm here.
Thank you. Mike Davenport.
Here.
Cheryl Fuller.
Here.
Dan Nicholas.
Here.
Rick Pavanato.
Here.
And Don Renner.
Here. I saw it.
All right, let's have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to our board meeting tonight. This is our official meeting, business meeting, excuse me. And our first item is the approval of the minutes from July 17, open session, business meeting, and closed session, and August 7th, the special workshop meeting. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Don. A second? Aye. Okay, Sherelle seconds.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Abstain.
And Terry Pevicic.
Aye, motion carries. Let's move on to our first reception of visitors. And we have now put up a slide
It's coming. There we go.
explaining our first reception of visitors. So I don't have to read that paragraph anymore.
Just that there's two opportunities, and this is the first one. So any agenda item on which we will be voting on, and then the guidelines are up there.
Speak on that one. Do we have anyone who would like to speak? All right, well then we'll move on to our recommendations and reports from the superintendent. Would you like to start with the English course fulfilling of the fine arts graduation requirement?
Yes, I would, and I'm going to turn it right over to Gina.
Okay.
Thank you. So we're bringing to the board a request to no longer have two of our English courses fulfill, or two courses, I should say, that are housed in our English department, fulfill the fine arts requirement. As you know, we have a fine arts graduation requirement, and these two courses, literary expression and oral interpretation, are two courses that meet that requirement. We met back in May, so the Fine Arts Department chairpersons, our English department chairpersons, our associate principals for curriculum instruction, and I met, and we kind of talked about what the curriculum entails, as well as we looked at the Illinois Fine Arts Standards. And we determined based on that those two courses are not meeting those standards. And as such, we're asking that the board basically vote that these two courses will no longer fulfill the requirement. Oral interpretation is a course, and actually I did some checking so I could give you some data. We have not run it at North. I went back 8 years. It has not run. We ran it at South 3 years ago as a combined course with forensics. So it was like the two courses in one section, one period, one teacher, and we only had 4 students. So that's a course that we typically do not run. We don't always take courses off the book. We typically wait to see, and sometimes we do merge them, but over time we do start to look at enrollment, and that's a course that we have not run, like I said, in years. We do have students who do enroll and take literary expression. However, it is an English course. They do get English credit. And I even met and spoke with our assistant principal for counseling and student support services to find out really are students taking that course to meet the fine arts requirement and what we determined, and we actually looked and went through some students that by and large those students are taking fine arts courses. So they're not necessarily taking the course because it fulfills that requirement. Sure, we may have a few, but it's not as if they're taking that course for that purpose. So we're requesting the change would go into effect for 18-19. So students, as they're working on their 4-year plans, as they're going through the academic planning guide, so on and so forth, would be aware of this change.
Okay, do we have any questions or discussion? Because we'll be voting on it later.
Just those students who have taken the course with the expectation that it would fulfill their requirements that will no longer meet those requirements?
It's a senior course,
Okay.
so the students
Okay.
that are,
Okay, good.
And this will be up for action later on this evening.
Okay, all right, let's move on. All right, our next discussion is the Citizens Task Force.
All right, I'm going to have Jill speak to the work of the Citizens Task Force, and this is related currently to the Master Facilities Plan.
Sure, it's going to be a fun fall filled with community engagement activities. We have a lot planned, and it starts next week. So the first meeting of the Citizen Task Force will be next week. And the purpose, again, of this group is to review the master facility plan to date, what our facility needs are, take a look at all that's been done, and also the financials of it. So I know you guys got a preview of that earlier, so we will review that. The group will also review the feedback and the results of the phone poll that we're going to have in October and the mail survey. So a lot of work to do, and our goal was to get 25 to 30 people to assemble them, and we reached out to 60, and we have 32. So it's a really good group. It's very diverse, represents a variety of perspectives. So we have business people. Michael Casa has agreed to serve on the Citizen Task Force, so he'll be there. So business people, we have other governmental agencies that are participating. A lot of people who were participating in the spring meetings are going to be coming back and helping us out. Lots of parents, so parent leaders at both of our schools as well as our affiliated districts. So good group. We also have some retirees, including Dr. Eblin, so he's going to serve. So looking forward to getting that group together and appreciate their time and united perspective. It's a very different, eclectic group that's going to give us good feedback on what we've done so far. So it'll meet 4 times total. It'll meet next week and then early September. Then a lot of meetings happen in October for the community meetings and the tours that we're going to have. And then again, the phone poll and the survey will take place in October. And then in November, the group will reconvene and review those results and have a recommendation that they will provide to Hank, which will then bring to the board. So kind of an overview, but looking forward to having those next week. And Don will be representing the board at the meeting.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you, Jill.
Thanks.
Brief update.
Anybody have any questions for Jill or comment? Okay, thank you, Jill. All right, moving right along. The next thing is any Freedom of Information requests.
2 received and 2 responded to.
Okay, thank you. And now we have the consent agenda. Is there anything that anyone would like to pull off that and discuss, or? Okay, do I have a motion to,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, which includes A, personnel report, appointed, certified, contract adjustment, certified, appointment, classified, transfer position, classified. B, personnel report, retirement, certified, retirement, classified, resignation, certified, resignation, classified. C, personnel report, termination, classified. D, financial pages, and E, student tour.
Second.
Well done, Rick.
Don seconds?
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Sherelle Fuller.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
Terry Pavasich.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to recommendations for action. The approval of the 17-18 district goals.
All right, these were discussed last time. This is the approval of the 5 different domain goals. And this is just the approval. I haven't received any questions from them. I've heard a lot of comments from staff that they appreciate us consolidating this down into 5 general areas that are easily understandable and, directly aligned with what the mission of the district is.
I'll make a motion for the Board of Education to approve the 2017-2018 district goals as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Sherelle Fuller.
Aye.
And Terry Pavasich.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. The next is the English course for fulfillment of the fine arts graduation requirement.
This is just as Gina presented.
This is, yeah, we just,
I'll make a motion for the Board of Education to no longer allow English and Communication 4 literary expression and oral interpretation to fulfill the District 99 Fine Arts graduation requirement effective with the 2018-2019 school year.
all right, a second?
Second?
Don seconds.
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
And Terry Pavasich.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, the next item is changes to the dress guidelines in the handbook, and that we were discussed last meeting also.
Correct, and after I followed up with clear, concise language about what the changes were, and they are presented in board docs today under the recommended action. These have been discussed with our staff, with the board, and I have not received negative feedback from anybody regarding this change.
Just for clarification, we did just strike out certain language in order to make it more unisex, I think is what we talked about.
We made it, we removed some of the gender slanted language, I would say, that was in the old, just because it talked about specific items of clothing that really, many of them were reserved to what women traditionally would wear. And we made it more clear, and we eliminated some of the language in there that was like from shoulder to mid-thigh, because shoulder doesn't necessarily, a lot of current clothing has like a shoulder cutout. Well, that's not indecent or immodest in any way. So this language allows us to then go back with our deans and our staff and look at the fashion trends currently and then address that appropriately, rather than having language that spells out fashion trends, many of which were not in style anymore, clothes that students wore.
Thank you. And I ask because there is some discussion from my daughter's perspective that it potentially was, it's limiting, and I'm like, no, I don't, that wasn't the spirit of it
No.
at all. So just want to get clarification.
Do we have a motion to change the dress guidelines in the handbook?
Okay. Make a motion for the Board of Education to change the dress guidelines regarding modesty in the student handbook to read as presented.
Thank you, Don. A second?
Second the motion.
Okay, thank you.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
And Terry Pavasich.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. The next item is the tax abatement agreement between the Community High School District 99 and Project Altitude.
Altitude.
Sorry. If I could see me. Corporation regarding expansion project. Do we have any?
Just a reminder, this is what we spoke about at the board workshop at the beginning of the month. Today we have representatives, again, Michael Casa joining us, and representatives from the developer Cushman Wakefield. Should I not be able to answer any questions that pop up tonight. The agreement that's in front of you is the exact agreement that we will sign, except for we will eventually remove the term Project Altitude and replace it with the actual name of the company. We discussed the last time the confidentiality of the agreement that's involved in this. So that will be forthcoming. This is approval of that entire agreement and what's contained in it. Remember, this is a deferred tax abatement over a 10-year period of time.
I move the Board of Education approve the tax abatement agreement between Community High School District 99 and Project Altitude Corporation regarding expansion project.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Now we can discuss it if you'd like. Any discussion? All right. Go ahead.
Mike Davenport.
Aye.
Rick Pavanato.
Aye.
Don Renner.
Aye.
Cheryl Fuller.
Aye.
Dan Nicholas.
Aye.
and Terry Pavasich.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Do we have any old business? Any new?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. It was great working with you on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
No old business? Any new business to be brought before us? Okay. If not, I have another reception of visitors, and this reception is for anything concerning District 99. Do we have anyone? Nope. Okay. All right. Now, communications and announcements. Do we have a report from Len?
No, we have not met since we've had meetings of the board, but we've not had any meetings at Lend.
I will take this opportunity to say that Lend has been very active, though, in communicating with superintendents regarding Senate Bill 1, that there may be House action on that tomorrow or Thursday or any day thereafter.
Okay.
However, the clock is ticking on the mandatory veto from the governor. So I will keep the board apprised of any developments that happen over the next few days.
Thank you. The SACID? No, that's Nancy, and so she will be reporting on that the next time, I'm sure. District 99 Foundation, we have not met either since our last meeting. IASB.
Nothing new to share that you don't already know.
Okay. And remember, the conference is coming up in November. I mean, it'll be here before we know it, so.
I don't know if you heard, but District 99 has people presenting.
Yes, we have 3 different groups, correct?
Yeah, I believe it's 3, yeah.
Is it 3?
Or it's one twice and then another, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Three separate sessions. Yeah.
So be sure and look for that and support our folks. That would be a good thing. And
Upcoming board
our
meetings.
upcoming board meetings are September 11th, which is 9/11. And that one is a workshop. And then the business meeting will be September 18th. So we will convene again then. Do I have a motion?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second the motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good one. We are adjourned.